So this is the first in the series of Topic 1 videos, and this one is focusing on points and segment addition. So to start off, when it comes to points, we want to be able to look at a set of points and decide if they are collinear points or if they're not collinear points. Now, collinear points are defined as any points that are lying on the same line together, and that's where the name collinear comes from. Co being two or more coupling together to do something, and linear being that the thing that they're doing is being on a line. So the points that we're looking at in this problem are the points K, P, and E. So K, if we look on the diagram, is located right here. P, as we look on the diagram, is up top here, and E on the diagram is over to the side. And we can see pretty clearly, while K and P may be in a line, and so they would be collinear, if we're also throwing an E with a mix, it breaks off to the side and stops these three from being collinear with each other. So are they collinear or not? And the answer here would be no. And so as we look at a problem like this one in front of us, as we try to erase our lines really quick, this is an example of a problem where instead of identifying whether or not what's given to us is collinear, we have a set of points that are being presented to us. We have to decide which of them are the collinear set of points. And so for each one, you just have to break down, find them on the diagram, and see if they are forming a line or not. So QPO is where we're going first. Q is down here. Oh, let's get our pen working. Q is down here, P is over here, and O is there. Obviously, that does not form a line, so that means that QPO is out. Then we have OPQ, which is the same letters, so we'll go ahead and cross those out. EPK, E is here, P is here, and K is there. That again does not form a line, so this one's out. A, E, and K, well, that forms a straight line if we draw it through it, so there is a set of collinear points. The problem does say that there's two of them, so as we keep looking, EKP is here, there, and there. So again, cross it out. It happens to be the same letters as this first one over here. And then AQE, A, Q, and E. So there's the other one. Now notice AQE is not in order. It should be AEQ if we were putting it in order. That doesn't matter. The point of collinear is that they are just on the line together. So that's where we get our two correct set of points there. And so as we move on from looking at just collinear points, the next thing we want to look at is segments, specifically using this thing called the ruler postulate and segment addition. So our first problem up is this problem where we're presented with a number line and we're just trying to find what is the distance from F to E. Now when it comes to this, there's two ways that you can do it. One, if the number line's short enough, you can literally just count. And from 14 to 15 is, get the pen working, is 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 movements that we made. That means the distance from F to E must be 8. But if the number line that you're looking at is much grander in its size, you can't just count it, then the easiest route to go about for finding this distance is you take whatever your second point is, so in this case -7, and you subtract from it your first point, so minus -15. And when we do that, we'll just simplify it out. So it's -7 minus minus makes positive, -7 plus 15, which then gives us 8. And so the distance between those 2 points is 8. Now, again, you can count and that's fine, but understanding that you can subtract from each other is a very important skill, because again, if these number lines are much bigger, they're not just easily countable, being able to quickly do the math of something like -7 minus -15 will help you get to that answer fast. So our next problem that we're going to look at is still dealing with the number line, but now it's looking at a specific set of distances on the number line. So if we have this distance C to B, the distance from C to B is 12. Then we have a distance of C to A. So we have C to B, that's 12. If we go back to C and we go to A, this distance is 36. And the question wants to know, what is the distance from B to A? Well, if C to A is 12 and B to A is 36, we're looking for this distance here. We just have to say, okay, well, if the whole thing's 36, we're not counting the 12 that's here. 36 minus that 12 will equal whatever the distance of B to A is. And in this case, that would be 24. So my first answer is 24. But then comes the fact that there is the possibility of a second answer here. So if we go back to just having C to B, and this problem over here, the first one that we did, C to A went in the same direction to the right as B did, but it doesn't have to. Number lines have two directions on them. So we could start at C, and instead of going forwards to the right where B is, we could take A and go backwards with it. And it would still have that distance of 36. But now, to get from A to B, you have to go up 36, and then you have to go up 12. Meaning that A to B is that distance of 36 plus 12. So the other possible distance that you have here is 48. So it depends on, are you going to send B and A in the same direction, or are you going to send B and A in opposite directions? And that's where you get these two different distances from. Another way that this type of problem is presented is, instead of being given these distances and you're just comparing the different distances, you're given that H is on the number line and it's on 7. So we have this number line, throw in 0 because it's a number line, and over here is our H sitting at the position 7. Then we're told that HG is 12. That means the distance from H to G is 12 units. Now, it doesn't say what direction that's going. So that means that from H, we could go up 12 units, and that will give us this new position where G is. And so in that case, we just do 7 plus 12. And that means that G, if we extend that out, G could be sitting at 19. So my first answer here is 19. But we could also go in the other direction as well. And if we do that, if we go back 12, then G could also be sitting over here at 7 minus 12, which would be negative 5. And there's where the other possible answer is. So you start at H, you start at the number that's being given to you, and then you go the distance that you're being told to go in both directions. So for this problem, we move from just looking at the number line and counting numbers on the number line, and we're taking into now the concept of segment addition. So FD is 8 units long, so we'll put an 8 right there. ED is 64 units long, and we want to know what is EF. So we have these small segments, FD and DE, and when you take those small segments and you put them together, it creates the whole segment of FE. So in this case, FE is equal to my 8 segment plus my 64 segment being put together, which gives us 72 as the distance for FE. So you take your smaller segments and you put them together and you add them together, and it creates the whole segment, the longer total segment. And we can do that same problem even when we don't have the diagram. So this problem here is the exact same problem that we did just a second ago, but the difference is that the diagram has been revoked. But we have a word explanation for what's going on. So F, E, and D are collinear. What that tells us is that these three letters, these 3 points, are on the same line because they're collinear. So the first thing we do is we draw a line. And we're told that E is between F and D. So the middle point has to be E, meaning these other two are F and D. Doesn't matter where F and D goes, they just have to be on the outsides of E. So FE is 120. ED is 90, I think it says 96. Yep, 96. And we want to know what is the measurement of FD. Well, now that I have this diagram that I've drawn from just reading the problem out, now that I have this diagram, I can see, well, FD is FE, this first one, plus ED, the second one. So FD equals 120 plus 96. So then FD is taking those two numbers and just adding them together, which gives us 216. Now, with all things in math, you can also introduce algebra into it. So instead of looking at just these numbers as they are, they're now represented as these expressions. So FD is represented as negative 3x plus 7, and DE is represented as negative 6x plus 2. And so the question wants to know, what is the FD distance if FE is 18? So my whole distance from F to E is 18. And keeping in mind what we just talked about in the other problems, that means that when I take FD and I combine it with DE, that together makes 18. Which means that my expressions here, if I take them and I put them together, I get negative 3x plus 7 plus negative 6x plus 2, and that has to equal 18, my overall distance. And so we combine our terms together. So negative 3 and negative 6 makes negative 9x. 7 plus 2 is plus 9 equals 18. And then we subtract 9 to the other side. Actually, let's do that in a color that we aren't using for color coding. So we subtract 9 to the other side, and we get negative 9x is equal to 9. And then we divide both sides by negative 9. So x here equals negative 1. Now the question does not ask for x. If we go back and read the question and wants to know what is the measure of FD, you have to read your questions carefully. So we go back, FD is negative 3x plus 7. So if I plug in my negative 1, I get negative 3 times negative 1 plus 7, which is positive 3 plus 7, which is 10. So what does FD equal? It equals 10. And so here's an example of a problem that takes us a step farther. So now our segment's not just cut into 2 smaller parts, it's cut into 3 parts. But if we read the question carefully, we can tackle it just the same. So we're given that dB is 70, and we want to find the value of x. So we go to our diagram, and we label the fact that dB is 70. Now we're looking at this, and we're like, okay, well that's only part of the segment. What about this whole ED section over here? I don't know what that is. But the great thing about it is, it doesn't matter. I'm given D to B, and that's the only thing that I need. I don't care about this ED segment anymore. I only care about what the information is actually giving me, which is this section here from D to B. Well, if I look at that section, I know it's 70, but I also know that it's made of 2 parts. It's made of my first part, which is 10x minus 40, and it's made of my second part, which is 8x minus 52. So if I take those 2 parts and I add them together, 10x minus 40 plus 8x minus 52, then it has to equal my overall distance of 70 from D to B. And so just like the last problem, combine like terms, get x by itself. So I get 18x minus 92 is equal to 70. I add 92 to the other side, and I get 18x is equal to 162. And then I'm going to slightly run out of space here. And then if I divide that by 18, I get x is equal to 9. Now I go back and I look at the question. The question does indeed only want to know what x is, so then I can just put x equals 9 as my answer. And so then our last problem for this particular video is the exact same problem, but again, the diagram has been removed. So we are now tasked with creating the diagram so that we can actually tackle and solve this problem. So E, D, and C are collinear, so again, that means they are on the same line. So the first thing we should always do is draw the line. It's E, D, and C, that means there's 3 points on it, so we put 3 points on it. And then it says D is between, so the middle one has to be D, making this E, and that's C. It says given EC is 7x plus 189, E to C, 7x plus 189. Then it says D to C is 15x plus 5, so 15x plus 5. And then E to D is 12x plus 4. And so we look at this. So the diagram's done. It's complete. But it's all algebra. And so we look at it and we freak out and we say, oh no, this is complicated. But it's really not. Because again, the same concept still applies. What creates EC? EC is created by ED and DC being added together. So then we add them together. 12x plus 4 plus 15x plus 4, or plus 5, I should say. And what does that equal? It equals the total distance. Well, what does the total distance equal? It equals 7x plus 189. My two small segments equal the distance of the total segment. So from here, we can just combine our like terms. 12 and 15 gives me 27x. 4 plus 5 is 9. It's equal to 7x plus 189. I'm going to subtract the 7x over to the left, which gives me 20x plus 9 is equal to 189. Subtract 9, so I get 20x is equal to 180. And then my last step is going to be divide by 20. And so I get x is equal to 9. And so I go back and I double check the question. Is it asking me for x or is it asking me for a segment length? It says, what is the measure of x? Okay, so then I'm good to stop at just saying x is 9. If it asks you for what is DC, then you would have to go and plug in 9. Okay, so that is the first video in the Topic 1 series. This video is going over, like I said, the points and the segment addition properties. So hopefully that is helpful, and in the next video we'll get into looking at angles.